Hi All-Stars, Mrs. Flagging here. I have another game for you, and it's called Grocery Bag Relay. And it has to do with food groups and knowing your food groups, because every food you eat it might be in two different food groups, but it goes into a food group. And what you need for this game is a bag of groceries just taken from your fridge or your recyclables. And then you need a placemat, which you can copy if you don't have a printer you just type in My Plate in Google and go to images, and then you just color this on a blank sheet of paper, or if you have a printer, you can print one out and just color it right there. So here's what we're gonna do for the game. My husband and I are each gonna go stand behind a grocery bag, and when we say go, we take one item from the grocery bag and we run down, and we're gonna place it next to the food group it's supposed to go with. And once we have every food group full, we raise our hand and say done, and we see who finished first and who got the correct food group in the right category first. Okay, so let's watch the game. Are you ready?
Yes.
You want to run?
Yes.
Okay, and you could do crab walking if you're in your living room, or skipping, or use different locomotors to mix it up a little bit. It's up to you. All right, you ready?
Yes.
Set, go. Greens, carrots, done. And so then you come over and you check and see if it's in the right food group. Let's look. Vegetables. Does that look correct? That's correct. Protein. Tuna is protein. Dairy, yogurt. Grains, quinoa. And under fruits, banana. So you can play, empty the whole grocery bag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey All-Stars, the weather today is 48 and cloudy.
For lunch, we're having peanut butter and jelly.
Applesauce too, and cheese stick and a glass of water.
Have a nice lunch. And kids, remember to clean up after yourself.
I like the mango for lunch.
Once there was an astronaut named Mr. Pickles orbiting around the Earth in a spaceship. His spaceship began to malfunction and his ship crashed down to the Earth like a shooting star. He survived the crash, but his troubles were not over. He landed in an Arctic habitat. Thank goodness he had his spacesuit on, or he would have frozen to death. A polar bear came to investigate the crash and began chasing Mr. Pickles. The bear chased him until he fell into an ice cavern, and the bear did not want to follow. Water started coming into the cave, and Mr. Pickles was starting to drown, when suddenly a narwhal appeared and used his long tusk to spear the astronaut's spacesuit and carry him to safety. Once Mr. Pickles was on solid land, the narwhal called a friend with a loud whistle. An Arctic hare showed up and brought some apple juice that he found in a shipwreck to give the astronauts some nourishment. It kind of gave Mr. Pickles the farts, but at least it was some food. The hare said,
Follow me, I can help you get some.
The two took off, but the astronaut had trouble keeping up because he could not see the white rabbit against the white snowy habitat. Then, out of nowhere, a white snowy owl swooped in and tried to snatch up the Arctic hare. The hare screamed and said,
Hey, I know you're a bird of prey. Normally, eat bunnies like me, but we need some help here.
He explained the situation, and the owl agreed to fly up high so he could see where they needed to go. After 16 hours, the three came upon an antenna tower where Mr. Pickles could get cell phone service. He called his wife to let her know he was okay and had her call the space agency to get him some help. Then Mr. Pickles thanked the owl and the hare, and they left to go to their homes in the frozen land. Mr. Pickles just hung out and waited. Soon another spaceship flew overhead, and Mr. Pickles knew he would be safe. He ran to the ship, and they headed to his home where it was much warmer. The end.